Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I went to Asheville this past weekend with my husband, and as I do every time I go to Asheville, I shopped at Malaprops. So I've got a bag here of some books that I picked up. I also picked up a couple of things from other bookstores in town. The other one is Books and News, which is a sister store to Malaprops. They have used and rare books, and I picked something up there as a gift for my friend. I did go to one other bookstore in town that's actually more of a bar that sells books. It looks like this amazing, kind of magnificent library, but it's a bar. I actually went during the day, and so I just sat around and drank a chai latte and just felt like I was in a movie scene. So let's get on to the books. I am going to show you first the blind date with the book, which I have already unwrapped, and I will post up here the link to that video so you can take a look at that. So I'm not going to show you what it is, even though I've already unwrapped it, because I filmed this video once, but the lighting was worse in this than it is in that video. So I decided to refilm the book haul, and I'd also left out the gift books that I bought, so I wanted to share those. But yeah, this one ended up being a book that I am really excited about and went very well with the kind of accidental theme of book buying that I had this weekend. So go check out my blind date with the book unwrapping if you want to see what this is. So the first one that I bought was this tiny adorable book, which is a collection of short stories called Ashes in My Mouth and Sand in My Shoes by Pierre Peterson. I have the book I Refuse by Pierre Peterson, which I have been wanting to read, and I just haven't gotten to it for so long. I read the first chapter of it during my Try a Chapter Tag video, and I really enjoyed it, so I keep meaning to get back to it. But I saw this tiny collection of short stories that was right next to the paperback copy of I Refuse, and I was like, I have to have it. And then the other book I picked up during the first trip was Memoirs of a Polar Bear. This one I really am just not sure. So it was on the staff pick shelf, and I always like to pick a staff pick while I'm there because I don't always get along well with them, but I do always find them interesting, and I just think that they pick the most kind of like marvelous things for staff picks. They have such a great variety, and I usually find something that is interesting. This one is something else. So I read the first page of it, and I also read the back of it, and it basically sounds like it could either be memoirs of actual polar bears, 3 generations of polar bears, or it's 3 generations of humans, but told as if they were polar bears, because it says basically, Memoirs of a Polar Bear stars 3 generations of talented writers and performers, famous stars of the literary world, the circus, and the zoo. They happen to be polar bears who move in human society. I don't know. So I'm guessing this is going to be kind of magical realism. I don't know. I really don't know. If you've heard of this at all, let me know. I feel like this is something that's very up Mercy's alley. Like when I saw this, I was like, I wonder if she's read this. But yeah, I'm very curious. And I can't remember if this one is, yeah. So this is translated from German by Susan Bernofsky. So I think I ended up picking up quite a few translated books. So Stephanie, be proud. That was not necessarily intentional. But I'm excited about that. This one is translated from Norwegian by Don Bartlett, which is I think the same person that translated the other novel by this author. And then the advanced reader copy that we actually picked up, this one is called Foxheart by Claire Leogrand, and it is a middle grade book. It looks huge, but the print is massive, and there are pictures. And this is basically about a 12-year-old girl named Quicksilver who works as a thief. And she also has a sidekick that's a fox, and then this kid that lets her sleep at his house when it's too cold for her to sleep outside. And she discovers that she has magic, and she's excited because she wants to use it to become a better thief. And then obviously things happen, and she discovers there are bigger things, or there's something more complicated that goes on. So I think this is going to be really cute, and I'm excited to read it. I like middle grade, and also I'm pretty sure there's a ginger protagonist, so I love that. And then the other thing that we picked up while we were there was this book called Nobody Likes a Goblin, which was also on the staff picks. This is a book that we bought for our friend Ben and his daughter, and it just looks really funny and adorable, and Justin thought that it was perfect for them, so we got that. And then in between the two trips to Malaprops, we went to Downtown Books and News, which I said is the sister shop to Malaprops. I did see this lovely book and thought of my best friend Ashley, who she spent a couple of different times abroad in France and is a huge lover of everything French. She is bilingual, she speaks French, and then she also she studied abroad in France and in Paris. And so I saw this, and I had heard about these recently on the channel. I'm blanking on her channel, but I'll go ahead and link it up here because she is so lovely. But she was talking about the Everyman's Pocket Classics, and I had never heard of them. And so when I saw this on the shelf, I was like, wait, that's one of those collections of short stories that she was talking about. Well, this is Paris Stories. So it's a bunch of short stories about Paris, and I just knew that this would be something that would be right up Ashley's alley, and so I picked it up for her. I'm gonna ship this to her. But yeah, I just like, this is such a cute idea, and as a lover of short stories, I love that this publisher is doing just collections of kind of related short stories based on different topics. So definitely excited about finding this for her. And then, like I said, I went back to Malaprops, and I ended up picking up 2 more short story collections and then 1 novel. And the novel I picked up is the only one of the books that I got that was actually on my radar already. Because when I go to independent bookstores, I don't like to buy books that I already know I want. Like, for instance, they obviously had The Mothers, and they had Underground Railroad, and there's another book I saw that I was like, oh, I want that. But those are books that I already know that I want, and so they're on my wish list for my mom for Christmas, things like that. But when I go to bookstores, I like to browse and pick up things that I wouldn't just normally pick. So things that I haven't heard of usually, or things that just appeal to me when I see them on the shelf, because you don't have a chance to do that as easily on the internet. And yes, BookTube gives you a great reference for a lot of books that you haven't heard of. It still does have a lot of books that are widely talked about between booktubers, and so there's still nothing like going into an actual bookstore and browsing, and that's just, I mean, it's my happy place, and I think a lot of people feel that way. So, like I said, I don't usually pick up books that I already have on my wish list. This one was an exception because A, it's a Europa edition, B, it's one of those books that I was really excited to read, and I had it on my Christmas wish list, but when I saw that it was actually as small as it is, I was like, I want that now, because I think I might actually get to that before Christmas. And that is Baba Dunja's Last Love. So this is about a woman who moves back to her Ukrainian town that has been evacuated due to radiation, and she is basically, it's about her just living out her life in this town that she loves, and she's writing letters to her granddaughter who she's never met, and just generally about her life. And then this stranger shows up in town with a little girl, and there's a mystery there. It says something about how they may be a pawn in somebody's bigger picture or something like that. So this just seems, this has been something that I've been really excited to get to. This is also translated from German by Tim Moore. So yeah, this is one that I'm just so excited. And look at that cover. I just think that cover is so fun. Yeah, so it's very short too. I think it's like 130 pages or something like that. So I'll definitely be into that. The next one is A Wild Swan and Other Tales by Michael Cunningham. And this is apparently a bunch of like dark side of fairy tales. So it's short stories about the dark sides of fairy tales. Excuse you, that is not a scratching post. You're the dark side of a fairy tale. Anyways, but yeah, so it's fairy tale retelling-esque, but the dark side of those fairy tales. I wish you could see this cat. He has his head. Buddy, he got his head stuck in a paper bag. Like, I wish I was kidding, but he did. He got his head stuck in. You going back for more? Yeah, so dark fairy tales. It's got some illustrations and things in there. Ooh, that's crazy. So I'm excited about this one. This one also seems like something I feel like I might have seen either on Jen Campbell's channel or on Mercy's channel, but I don't know. He put his head back in the same bag. All right, the last one before this cat destroys this room is Ex-Boyfriend on aisle 6, and I have never heard of this. The back of it didn't really give me any indication about what exactly the story is about, but it does say that these are very human tales, and it talks about how she does a really good job representing the daily experience, which is something I really like. And I don't know, the cover just caught my eye, so I definitely am excited to get to this one. Again, a short story collection that I know very little about. Don't know anything about the author either, so we'll see. Say bye. Alright, so I am going to talk to you guys later. I hope that you enjoyed this little book haul, and if you have read any of these books, let me know, or if you have them on your wish list, let me know. Again, a lot of short story collections. If you didn't get that theme, I was picking up a lot of short story collections. I love them. I love to read them. I really love to read them during the winter, so hence why I'm in the mood to pick them up. But anyways, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!